Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention around the NFL, especially in the NFC East, you've probably heard the whispers. Rumors are swirling that the New York Giants might be open to a pretty significant rebuild, and one of the most talked-about names in that potential shakeup is Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, the same Dexter Lawrence who's been a cornerstone of the Giants' defensive line, the guy who's made life miserable for opposing quarterbacks and has been a dominant force inside. And get this, there's talk that the Giants might be willing to trade him, possibly for some draft picks or a promising young defensive tackle, as part of a broader strategy to clear cap space and reset their roster for the future. Let's take a deeper dive into the current state of the New York Giants. Historically, the Giants have been one of the NFL's most storied franchises, with 4 Super Bowl titles and a rich defensive tradition. But in recent years, they've faced struggles, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The 2023 season was particularly tough, finishing 4-13, showing clear vulnerabilities, especially against the run and in pass defense. Their defense allowed more than 370 yards per game, ranking in the bottom third league-wide. The defensive line, once anchored by stalwarts like Jason Pierre-Paul and Olivier Vernon, has seen significant turnover, and the current unit has struggled to generate consistent pressure. This is where Dexter Lawrence enters the picture. Drafted 5th overall in 2019 out of Clemson, Lawrence has been a shining star since his rookie season. He's a 6'4", 342-pound behemoth with a rare combination of agility and power. His presence inside is disruptive. He's able to collapse pockets and clog running lanes simultaneously. Over his career, Lawrence has played 92 games, starting in 88 of them, and has accumulated 312 total tackles, including 28 tackles for loss. His sack production has been steadily improving, with 5 sacks across the last 2 seasons, and he's become a favorite of defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. In 2023, Lawrence played a pivotal role in the Giants' defense, especially in the early part of the season when injuries decimated their linebacker core. His PFF grade last season was an outstanding 91, making him one of the top interior defenders in the league. Despite battling some minor injuries, including a rib injury that caused him to miss 1 game, Lawrence maintained high-level production, including 2 sacks in Week 4 against the Seahawks, a game where he was virtually unblockable. His ability to command double teams opens opportunities for teammates like Leonard Williams and newer draft picks to shine, creating a domino effect of disruption. Now, why would the Giants consider trading such a key player? Well, it's all about strategic recalibration. Their cap space is limited, just around $5 million heading into the offseason, and with Lawrence earning approximately $25 million annually, they need to make difficult decisions. Moving on from Lawrence could free up significant cap room, which they can reinvest in building a more balanced roster. Plus, with a projected draft class that includes several talented defensive linemen, the Giants might view this as an opportunity to rebuild through the draft, acquiring assets in exchange for Lawrence. From the Giants' perspective, a trade could also be about reorienting their defensive philosophy. They've been experimenting with different schemes, trying to find a cohesive identity, but inconsistency remains. Moving Lawrence could signal a shift towards a more youth-oriented rebuild, focusing on developing younger defensive linemen like rookie first-round pick Jordan Riley or promising prospects from recent drafts. But what about the broader implications? Let's analyze what Lawrence could mean for the Washington Commanders if that trade actually materializes. The Commanders, currently sitting at 6-8, are vying for a playoff spot. Their defense has been a bright spot, but it's still lacking that true game-changing interior presence. Their defensive line, with Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and Darren Payne, has been disruptive at times, but it's missing a dominant force like Lawrence, someone who can consistently collapse the pocket and control the line of scrimmage. Adding Lawrence would elevate this unit significantly. His inside presence would complement Chase Young's edge rush prowess and Montez Sweat's speed off the edge. The result? a fearsome front that can generate pressure on quarterbacks without requiring exotic blitz packages. According to advanced stats, the Commanders' pass rush pressure rate is around 22%, a respectable number, but one that could jump to over 34% with Lawrence anchoring the middle. Furthermore, Lawrence's run-stopping ability would bolster a run defense that's been vulnerable at times. Last season, the Commanders allowed over 120 rushing yards per game, ranking in the bottom half league. With Lawrence's ability to clog gaps and occupy multiple blockers, Washington's run defense could see a dramatic improvement, potentially a 20% reduction in rushing yards allowed per game. Beyond individual stats, Lawrence's presence on the field affects the entire team dynamic. His leadership, experience, and reputation as a relentless competitor would inspire the young players in the locker room. Especially as Washington looks to build a sustainable winning culture, the addition of such a player signals a commitment to excellence. Now, let's analyze the potential impact on the NFC East hierarchy. The division has become a powerhouse in recent years, with the Eagles dominating with their aggressive defense and high-powered offense, the Cowboys maintaining a balanced approach with their formidable defense and run game, and the Giants attempting to rebuild and find their footing. If Washington manages to acquire Lawrence, they instantly become a defensive juggernaut, capable of disrupting all divisional opponents. For instance, against the Eagles, who rely heavily on Jalen Hurts' mobility and the offensive line's effectiveness, Lawrence's interior disruption could be a game-changer. Similarly, in matchups against Dallas, with Dak Prescott and a deep receiver core, having a player who can collapse pockets from the inside would be invaluable. It could turn the tide of pivotal games, giving Washington an edge in close contests and playoff positioning. Now, let's look at some specific statistics to illustrate this potential upgrade. Last season, Lawrence's 28 sacks ranked him among the top interior defenders. Only Aaron Donald and Chris Jones surpassed him in that category. His 91.1 PFF grade indicates elite performance, especially in run defense and interior pressure. Comparatively, Chase Young's PFF grade last season was around 78.0, and Montez Sweat was at 80. 4. The addition of Lawrence could push Washington's defensive line to a league-leading unit, boosting the team's overall defensive efficiency from the middle 10s to the top 5. What about the future? The Commanders have been building around quarterback Sam Howell, who showed flashes of brilliance in 2023. With a stronger defense, particularly one anchored by Lawrence, they can reduce the number of high-pressure situations Howell faces, allowing him to develop more comfortably and confidently. Additionally, Lawrence's presence could be a magnet for free agents and draft prospects, signaling that Washington is serious about contending in the near future. Looking ahead, the addition of Lawrence could also influence the team's draft strategy. They might prioritize offensive line upgrades to protect Howell further, knowing that a dominant defensive line is already in place. Or they could select a complementary edge rusher or linebacker to create a balanced, attacking defense. In terms of the NFL landscape, the trade for Lawrence would send shockwaves through the league. It would be a bold statement that Washington is committed to winning now, not just rebuilding. Historically, teams that acquire top-tier interior defenders during pivotal moments, like the Rams with Aaron Donald or the Chiefs with Chris Jones, have seen their defenses transform into championship-caliber units. Lawrence's addition could position Washington similarly. And considering the broader market, a trade involving a player of Lawrence's caliber would likely involve multiple draft picks, possibly a high first-rounder and a mid-round selection, or a young, promising player with upside. This strategic move could set a precedent for other teams in similar situations, emphasizing the value of interior disruption in today's NFL. Additional context on the Commanders' defense and future outlook. The Washington Commanders have been inching toward a competitive identity for years. Coming off a 7-10 record in 2022 and an 8-9 finish in 2021, their focus has been on building a formidable defense and developing young offensive talent. Their defense, under coordinator Jack Del Rio, has shown flashes of brilliance, especially in 2022 when they finished among the top 10 in sacks and turnovers forced. However, inconsistency and injuries have held them back from reaching elite levels. In 2023, the defense has been more stable but still lacks that game-changing interior presence. The emergence of rookie linebacker Jackson Hill and the continued development of Chase Young and Montez Sweat have been positives, but the interior line remains somewhat of an Achilles heel. Darren Payne, a key component, is a free agent this offseason, which could open the door for strategic moves. Adding a player like Dexter Lawrence would not only address this need, but elevate the entire unit. His ability to command double teams would free up other pass rushers, allowing them to exploit one-on-one matchups. His run-stopping ability would also help in close games, where every yard allowed matters. Expectations and strategic implications. Looking ahead, the expectations for the Commanders hinge heavily on their ability to improve defensively and develop their young core. The addition of Lawrence, if it happens, would be a game-changer, instantly transforming the defense into one of the league's most feared units. Offensively, the team is also on the rise, with Sam Howell showing potential as a franchise quarterback. His arm strength, mobility, and decision-making have been promising, but he needs a solid offensive line and a reliable run game to truly flourish. The front office has shown interest in bolstering the O-line in free agency, and the added defensive stability from Lawrence would complement that. In the long term, Washington's goal is to become a perennial playoff team capable of competing for deep runs and Super Bowl titles. The NFC East, historically one of the most competitive divisions, has evolved into a battleground where defenses often dictate outcomes. A dominant interior presence like Lawrence could be the missing piece that propels Washington into true contender status. Deeper player analyses, Lawrence, Young, and Sweat to understand the full impact. Let's analyze the key players involved. Dexter Lawrence. As previously detailed, his size, athleticism, and disruptive ability make him a top-tier interior lineman. His ability to anchor against the run and rush the passer makes him invaluable. His leadership qualities and work ethic also set the tone for the defensive front. Chase Young. The former number 2 overall pick has shown flashes of dominance, especially early in his career. After recovering from injuries, he's looking to regain his form and become a consistent threat. His speed and bend off the edge are elite, and pairing him with Lawrence inside could make Washington's pass rush unstoppable. Montez Sweat. Known for his relentless motor and pass-rushing skills, Sweat has been a steady presence on the line. His ability to bend the edge and generate pressures complements Lawrence's interior disruption perfectly. Together, these players form a formidable front, and adding Lawrence would complete the puzzle, creating a diverse and relentless pass rush that could terrorize quarterbacks. Historical comparisons and potential impact. Looking back at NFL history, teams that invested heavily in interior pass rushers and defensive line dominance often saw sustained success. The Rams' acquisition of Aaron Donald transformed their defense, leading them to a Super Bowl victory in 2022. Similarly, the Kansas City Chiefs' emphasis on interior pressure with Chris Jones has been critical in their Super Bowl runs. For Washington, adding Lawrence could be a similar turning point. His presence inside could double the team's sack total, improve third-down defense, and reduce the points allowed per game. This, in turn, would give the offense more opportunities and better field position, creating a virtuous cycle of success. Final thoughts and strategic outlook. In conclusion, the potential trade for Dexter Lawrence is not just about acquiring a talented player. It's about making a bold statement. It's about signaling to the league and to the fans that Washington is serious about contending now and in the future. The move would dramatically reshape the NFC East landscape, giving Washington a significant edge over division rivals. As the offseason unfolds, all eyes will be on the negotiations between the Giants and Commanders. Will the Giants part ways with their star interior defender? And if so, what will Washington be willing to give up in return? The stakes are high, and the potential rewards could be enormous. For fans, this is an exciting time, a chance to see the team make a bold move that could define the franchise's next chapter. The combination of Lawrence's talent, the team's young core, and the strategic vision of the front office could set Washington up for sustained success, possibly culminating in another Super Bowl appearance. Remember, in the NFL, it's often the boldest moves that lead to greatness. The acquisition of Dexter Lawrence by the Washington Commanders could very well be that move. Keep watching, stay engaged, and get ready for what promises to be an electrifying offseason. The future is bright, and the road to glory might just lead us through the trenches, where Lawrence stands ready to make history. Now, before we wrap up, I want to remind you to hit that like button if you're excited about this potential move. It helps the channel grow and ensures you stay in the loop with all the latest Washington Commanders news. Drop your comments below. What do you think about Lawrence? Would he be the perfect piece to finally push us over the edge? I want to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. And with that, fans, stay tuned. The NFL offseason is just heating up and big things are on the horizon. The Commanders are poised to make a statement, and the addition of a player like Dexter Lawrence could be the catalyst for a new era of dominance. We've got the passion, the talent, and the vision. Now, it's just about making the right moves. As always, hail to the Commanders.